exam is on the 11th. They want to move. I think it's in the morning. There should be 151 of you at the paper. 149, I'm not sure. And for me, I cover 2 topics. The earlier one, you have seen me at the beginning of the semester, right? So I cover 2 topics, which is on the physical layer and also on the data link layer. If you go back through your e-learning, you will see under my, and then I've given you 1 quiz and also 1 assignment. And that assignment is on Waisha, right? So for final exam, on physical layer and data link layer, both topic there's a question on that in your final exam, right? But people are asking me what are the things, what to cover, so many lecture notes, other and so on. There's only 1 question. So logically, that question will be structured in the sense that there are questions from chapter on physical layer. There are questions coming from the data layer. In that 1 question, 1 question may be structured, and then come a question: is it calculation? Is it theory? So I'm telling you, there's calculation. Oh, so good, right? There's also theory. Okay. So theory pun ada, eh? So some of you itu je lah. Kan? 1 question, 2 topics, theory, physical, habis. End of class. Detail lagi. 2 topik je kan, yang I think with, when you are with Dr. Surin, with Dr. Lena, there's a lot more, right? Physical layer. What is the medium of transmission? The main medium of transmission. That's not the question. That is not the question. I'm just asking now. What is the main medium of transferring data, transferring information from one place to another? What medium do you use? Apa medium penghantaran data? Apa medium dia? What's the medium?
Communication.
When you send a data or information from one place to another, apa medium dia? Space. Okay, so space is what? We're using what? What is it called? Medium. Apakah medium penghantaran data dari satu tempat? Menggunakan apa? Menggunakan lori. Menggunakan food panda, grab food. Apa you hantar? You nak hantar information pakai apa? Grab food. You pakai apa? You want to send a data from Malaysia to Japan, from Malaysia to Kuala Lumpur, from Kangal to Kuala Lumpur. What do you use?
Application.
Okay?
Application.
Physical ni, physical. I'm talking about physical topic, right?
Physical, yes.
Physically, what do you use to send? What is the medium?
Physical layer.
Lah, layer. Layer tu is in the OSI layer kan. OSI layer ni is the protocol of you sending. But what is the medium? At the physical layer tu, apa medium for you to send from one place to another? Saya bagi contoh food panda ke? Kalau dia food panda, nama food, hantar food. Ni information, dia pakai apa?
Ethernet cable.
Okay, kabel. Kabel ada berapa bentuk? Fiber optic atau? UTP is what? Copper. Copper cable. Apa lagi cara kita hantar? What other things? What other medium that you use to send? Wireless technology. That is through air. Right, what else? Fiber cable. Saying already, cable, fiber optics, copper cable. Wireless technology that is using the air. Third. So this medium, what is the advantage of using fiber optics? What is the advantage of using microwave? What's the advantage of using copper cable? What is the disadvantage of using copper cable? What is the disadvantage of using fiber optics? What's the disadvantage of using microwave? Excuse me.
Surabaya macam bagus. Dia tetap yang dulu.
So those are the kind of typical question that we will ask about physical layer. Okay, so nak tahulah what is the advantage, what is the usage of that medium, and so on. So you nak nampak tiga, which is can be fiber optics. You can ask you about copper cable. Copper cable pun that comes into UTP cable, right? And also the terrestrial link, which is microwave and over the air, right? So find out about that. Then you come into the calculation of physical layer. If you go through my example 1, 2 on physical layer, there's a lot of examples. Okay, so go through that example. That should be enough, right? When I say that should be enough, maybe 1 or 2 questions will come up from there. Maybe half a question will come up from there, right? And the other half is the theory part, but it will be from there. Someone sent me a message showing me, remember, there's one question, remember, in that example that shows you a lot of stations, and it's all connected. Okay, so I'm giving you some tips. That kind of question will not come up. Why? Because you have your time for, there's only one question. That kind of question will actually come up for a full question. So if that kind of question is given, you will take most of your time just to do that. And then they don't have time to do that. The other deep data and so on. So that particular question, which is a bit complex, will not come up. But, however, I've already given you that any of the example, the calculation example that I've given you, go through that. Except for that particular question where you have a lot of stations, and then saying that from here, going so on, that is too complex for you to finish in time. So that one will not be included. Okay? Clear? Other than that, maybe on the what are the equipments within the physical layer? You have routers, right? Other than routers, what else do you have? You have switches. What are the equipments that you use for the information to get to the customer side? You have the access point, right? Access point AP, wireless AP, right? And then that will get the information up to the internet. And in between your APs, you will have routers, you have switches, etc., etc. Okay? So maybe you want to also look into those devices. What are the functions of those devices? Halas, done. That's physical layer. Nothing else. Okay? No question on interconnections at that physical layer. Other topics might have. Okay? Then you go into DLL, data link layer. I don't talk a lot about other things, but I go into your structure of the data link layer. What is in the structure of data link layer? The structure. So this is the structure, right? Tak lupa lah. Lupa. That is in your lecture 4. Tak salah saya, or lecture 5. So each field, you need to actually know each field. All the square, that's a field. Done. So what is A, what is B, what is C, what is D, what is F? if that is an address, okay, that's a MAC address. How many bytes of MAC address? 6 bytes. So that's 6 bytes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 bytes, right? And then since that is destination, they will ask you this sender wants to send to a destination, whether it's unicast, broadcast, or multicast. How do you know? From this. Can you show me? This one, unicast, broadcast, or just show me, show us. That is the destination. Which one do you refer to? Do you remember? It's okay, there's no right or wrong. This time. Okay, betul tak ni? Is this correct? Is this correct? Is this correct? Tak tahu lah, it's no. Go back and check. One. Come. Ya, break. Belum tahu tentu betul tak betul kan? So if you look at this one tak betul lah. This one should be here, right? Here is the height. So this one learn by heart lah, and then each segment you need to know what is the function. So the slide I've given you, you go back. So each function, preamble 7 bytes is used for what? A sequence, alternative, start frame delimiter, SFD is used for what? What's the function of destination address? What's the function of source address? So not only know the structure, know what's the field, and also the function of each At the end, you have this FCS, frame check sequence. How many types of in FCS? What are the types of checking sequence? It's for error detection. So FCS is for error detection. So what type of error detection is available there? Checksum, parity checker, CRC, cyclic redundancy check. Okay, that's example of. So maybe you will ask one type and you need to explain. Maybe they ask you two types and explain each. Maybe they ask you three types, explain each, and give the difference between each one. Maybe ask two, okay, you give SCRC and checksum. So what's the difference between checksum and CRC? If you give CRC and parity checker, what is the difference between parity checker and CRC? You need to know all three so you can do some comparison. Because at your level, at least it's not understanding but also to analyze. Analyzing means giving difference, give advantage, what's the difference, what's the disadvantage. These are the questions that will ask you to do a bit of analyzing. Okay? Clear? How about this one? Is this correct? This one, eh? That one is done. Alas. Let's look into that. So if one byte is 8 bits, so one byte has 2 hexadecimal numbers. So this is 1 hexadecimal. Okay, right? So you have this is in the notes. So you should be able to do this revision. So from there you do your unicast and multicast and broadcast, right? So this one it gives you an example. You always refer back to your first digit, which is what your friend did is now. And since that it is 00, so the first byte LSB of the LSB. So this is the first byte. So it says that your address has 6 bytes. 1, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you refer to the first byte. Check the least significant bit. If it's 0, then it's unicast. If it's 1, then it's multicast. If it's F all ones, then it's multicast. So whatever, but you have to. The twist here is that, like your, I think the test is given one long hexadecimal, right? So if you understand this, and it's given all this 0001, 03, 4B, C3, F, FF, C4, 2, F, A, etc. So you will not to know preamble is 7 bytes. So you calculate 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is your preamble. Then your SFD is 2 bytes, 1, 2. So this starts your destination address. So this is the one that most of you will do If you don't know the number of bytes, you don't know when to start with your destination address. You don't know when it starts. So if you don't know when it starts, you don't know which one is the first bit or the first byte. If you don't know which one is the first byte, how do you know it's multicast, broadcast, or multicast or unicast? So that's why this structure is important, and understanding whether it's unicast, broadcast, or so. If this is destination address starts with this FF, meaning that here is FF. So now this translates into 111111. So now it becomes what? This is 1. This is multi. Okay. Broadcast. Tahu? Oh, ada tahu lah.
Broadcast. Sebab all bits
Kan,
one.
broadcast or multicast?
Broadcast.
Broadcast. Kenapa you say broadcast?
Because all the bits are the same. All bits are one.
Usually, if you come up with this FF, you wouldn't have like this. Okay? Because if this is FF, all should be FF. Broadcast. Why all needs to be FF? It has to be all. Once this is not like this is become ambiguous. It should not be like this because this address is very unique. Address is sync is very unique. There's only one address that will have this. You cannot have different address with the same number. Then the packet doesn't know where to go. Just like your house address. If you have a duplication of address, then you'll be sending doesn't know which way to send. Right? Address is address, just like a house address. So if this is the address, it's a unique address. Right? So when you have this like this, it can be
Multicast.
multicast or broadcast. Right? But your addressing is very unique. So to call it a broadcast, meaning need to send to all address, it has to be all F lah. So all the F's is like sending to all. Right? So in this case, is it multicast or broadcast?
Multicast.
This question will not count with this. If it's all F, then it's broadcast. If it's just like this, it will not come out. If you want to know if it's multicast, it must be. This has to be. Then it becomes. No. These are X, 1. Then it becomes multicast. To have it to be broadcast, it has to be all. Then it knows that it must send to all. Okay, that will be it for that one question on physical and data.
Totally.
Okay. Okay, some other things you have gone through, Dr. Tena and Dr. Surya. On other topics, maybe you can focus on the class of your IP address, class A, class B, class C. What makes it into class A, class B? How do you identify that whether it's a class A, class B, or class C? And then if it's given an organization with different divisions, how do you classify your IP address? If you need in A division, you have 20 computer that you need to connect to. Another division you have another 20, the other division is another 50. How do you classify it, the IP address from what range to what range? Alright? What is the subnet mask of that particular division? How many number of usable address? You need to design your LAN and also WAN. There's also some theory on scalability and flexibility. Also understand your protocol, your SMTP, IMAC, HTTP, HTTPS. For HTTP, what's the difference between pipelining and without pipelining? That's about it. That you can focus to. I didn't say that these are the questions that will come out. I'm just saying that you need to focus. Right? So I think that's about it. I can't touch much on other topics. Maybe you have heard from your student and
Sir,
so on here.
apa? Data link lagi
I can answer only for the questions that I cover. Yes, Mark.
that for the data link and physical link tu
Can't hear your question.
ada dekat question mana? Question 1, 2 or 3?
My question is 1, 2, or 3.
Ah.
Doesn't matter. My question is a compulsory question. So it can be 1, 2, 3. It's a compulsory for you.
Ah.
It's not that you have to choose. You know, my question is not in the category where you need to choose. It's a compulsory question. So I think I hope that answers.
So
Okay.
so which part is your data question? Is it
Which part?
yeah?
The topic that I covered.
In the final exam, is it in question 1, question 2, question 3?
It can be in any of those questions, but you need to answer it because it's compulsory. It's clear, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
It can be in 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, but it's compulsory to answer. Doesn't matter lah which question kan. Question 2 and 3. I don't know question. Other question. Many you know question 1 already. Still be question 2 and 3. I don't know. Okay, I only cover data link layer and also physical. But just now I mentioned to you probably you need to focus on that thing that I just mentioned to you. So have a look into it. Right? The addressing, the classes, the subnet, the number of how do you do the range of your IP address, go into that. What is pipelining, what is without pipelining, a bit on that. Look into scalability, look into flexibility, those kinds of things. Okay, just look into it. I don't know whether it's going to come out or not, but look into it. Right? Okay, I hope your this half an hour or 45 minutes is worthwhile. for you to at least focus on what to read rather than so many things that you need to cover. Please look into that. Okay? On the day itself, on the 11th, I wish you all the best, but certainly whatever I said, it came out and you forget, then don't be raising up your hand. So how to answer this? You know, that you just ask me if you need clarification. You don't ask me whether I do this correctly or not. You know, I forgot about this. I'm even enough to help you to do your the what? Topic? Yes, there is a design question.
Also another design
In Dr. Surin and Dr. Dena question, there's the design question. There's a topology question. Right, where you need to draw, you need to design, you need to label accordingly. I did mention to you about the topology, I did mention to you about the IMAC. You need to answer 5 questions, right? Total 5 questions. Okay, you got 9 more minutes. If no, then I think that's. Thank you very much for coming. I wish you all the best. I'll be here until 4 o'clock if you need to ask anything, and then I need to go. Alright? So I hope you. I wish you all the best. Next semester was another. See you again. Somebody also asked for your carry marks, so you have to refer to Dr. Suri for your carry marks. Check this. For aside for quiz, I have a list of names for quiz. I have also a list of names that did not submit your assignment 1. Let me read their names. And you can come and see me later. Okay? For assignment 1, yang I don't have submission, ada 4. There's 4 of you, 4 students. Akmal Sanin,
Yeah.
Siti Fatihah, Ashraf Saif, and Muhammad Arif Azizi. Okay, you just PM me later. If you have sent, just PM me. I might be wrong, but I don't have this submission. If these 4 students, just let me know. Akmal already PM me. You said you want to send in, but I have not received.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
That is for assignment 1. Other than that 4 names, all of you have already accepted your submission and have already graded accordingly. For quiz 1, there's 4 names also. But for quiz 1, I did it in the 2nd week. Alright, so in the 2nd week, there are some students who have not registered yet. They came in a bit late. So I'm not sure. So any one of you who have registered late, but not, so you don't have the opportunity to do your quiz 1, I accept. But if you have already registered, but you didn't do your quiz 1, I would not consider, because you will come to class to do your quiz 1. Quiz is not like assignment. I give you date, due date, and so on. You need to submit. So quiz, you come to class, you do your quiz. You don't come to class, it's just too bad you don't do your quiz. But if you did not register because some of you have to do the late registration because of your P1, ability to come from doing this additional class and so on, repeat your class and so on. That one I will consider to go on the quiz with me. So the names for this quiz: Muhammad Arif Azizi. I have not got your